Hey friends, it's Mary Giordano and welcome to Unapologetically Wild. Every single day, you have a choice. You can stay where you are, or you can step into the possibility of something even greater. And I'm here to spark that flame within you and inspire you to show up, embrace the fear, and do the fucking thing. Messy, scared, and real. Let's get started. Hey friends, it's Mary Giordano and welcome back to Unapologetically Wild. I want you to imagine this for a second. Imagine someone followed you around all day long and talked to you the way you talk to yourself. Do you think you would thank them for their support, or would you slap them absolutely silly? Because most of us wouldn't let a stranger say half the shit we say to ourselves. But when it comes from inside our own head, we let it slide. We normalize it. We downplay it. We let that inner critic run the fucking show. But guess what? You don't grow from being constantly torn down. You grow when you've got your own back, when you can encourage yourself, believe in yourself, trust yourself. That voice in your head, it's either building you up or it's breaking you down. And if it were anyone else, you'd be done with them. So my question is, why are you still listening and believing? Because here's the thing, that voice, you've been letting it run wild in your head. And it's not harmless. It's not just how you are. It's shaping everything. So in this episode, we're going to talk about what that inner dialogue is really doing to you and how to finally change it. Most of us think negative self-talk is just an annoyance. Like, yeah, I'm hard on myself, but it keeps me in check. No, it keeps you small. That voice doesn't just make you feel bad in the moment, it shapes your entire life. Because the words you repeat over and over again, they become the beliefs you build from. And those beliefs, they dictate what you go after, what you tolerate, and what you believe you're capable of. Think about it. If the soundtrack in your head is always telling you you're behind, too late, not good enough, too much, not ready, are you really going to take risks? Are you going to put yourself out there? Are you going to believe you deserve more? No, you're going to play it safe. You're going to overthink everything. You're going to talk yourself out of shit before you even try it. Negative self-talk doesn't just mess with your head. It rewrites your story before it even gets told. It convinces you to shrink, to stall, to quit on things you haven't even tried. And it doesn't just hold you back, it erases the version of you that could have existed. And here's the wild part. Most of us don't even realize how brutal we've become to ourselves because we've been doing it for so long, it just feels normal. But it's not normal. It's not helpful. And it's definitely not the voice of growth. So where does that voice even come from? Because you weren't born with it. You didn't pop out of the womb thinking you were too much, too loud, too late, or not enough. You learned that voice. You absorbed it from the world, from family, from school, from culture. Little by little, it layered in. And none of it seemed like a big deal at the time, but slowly you started internalizing the message. Don't be too much. Don't mess up. Don't draw attention. Don't need too much. Don't make anyone uncomfortable. And you didn't. You got good at it. You became the master of anticipation. You started correcting yourself before anyone else could. And that voice in your head, it's not some divine compass. It's a collection of all the ways you were taught to stay safe by staying small. But guess what? That voice, it masquerades as truth. It shows up dressed as knowing your limits, as just being responsible. So you believe it, you trust it, you build your entire life around it. And every time you think about doing something bold, like quitting the job, booking the flight, starting the business, ending the relationship, that voice pipes up not because you're wrong, but because the new version of you threatens the system that voice was built to protect. That inner critic, it's not protecting you. It's protecting the version of you that never got to grow, the one who learned to survive by self-silencing. But what's most important is knowing it's not your fault. You didn't install this script. But if you don't start questioning it now, you'll keep letting it write the rest of your story. Because what most people don't understand is your thoughts, they're not even yours. They're inherited patterns, passed down fears, outdated stories you never consciously agreed to, but started believing anyway. And the longer you keep listening, the more they'll shape a life that doesn't reflect who you truly are, just who you learned to be. So remember, you're the observer. You're the one who gets to decide what stays and what gets replaced. You can either keep following the script you were handed, or you can choose to write one that actually reflects the woman you came here to be. So now you're saying, okay, Mary, yeah, that's me, but how do I change? Well, you stop letting that voice drag you, doubt you, derail you, and you start turning it into something that actually supports you and helps you rise. You become your own inner Ted Lasso. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's a must watch. Go add it to your list. You stop being the critic. You stop being the punisher. Stop listening to the voice that says, do better, be more, don't screw this up. You become the one who leads with belief, the one who sticks around when it's messy, awkward, hard, or challenging, because no one ever beat themselves into their best self. We grow through encouragement, not shame. And if you wouldn't speak to your best friend that way, why the hell are you speaking to yourself like that? So here's a few suggestions I have on how to actually start shifting everything. Number one, you need to catch the voice. You need to start noticing how you speak to yourself on a regular basis. Like my mom always said to me when I was younger, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Is it kind? Is it firm but fair? Or is it a low-grade assault every single time you think you messed up? And once you catch that voice, you need to ask it, would I say this to someone I love, someone I care about? If the answer is no, stop giving that voice its own mic, because your inner world becomes your outer reality. Then you need to start shifting the tone, not the truth. You can be honest without being totally brutal to yourself. So instead of "you're such a mess," try "that was rough, let's regroup." Instead of "you suck at this, you suck at life," say, "okay, this is new. Of course it's going to be hard, but I'm still going to do it." And then I want you to start focusing forward. Critics dwell on what went wrong, and supporters, real true supporters, look at what's next. So ask yourself, what did I learn from this? What do I need now? What's my next move? And finally, say the new voice out loud. Yeah, out loud, even if it feels weird, because when you hear yourself say it, your body starts to believe it. And the belief is the fuel for action. And know that this isn't about pretending everything's amazing. Instead, it's about finally becoming someone who's got your own fucking back. Because if you want to evolve into the next version of you, you need a voice that belongs in that future. So be the one who cheers for your growth, the one who catches the slip and says, "We're still in this, we've got this." Be the one who, like Ted Lasso, believes when no one else does. And from there, you start building the thing most women don't even realize they've lost. Most women, they don't lack discipline, they don't lack ambition, they lack self-trust. And I've spoken about this in so many past episodes. It's ridiculous. But it's so important for me to keep repeating, because for years, women have been gaslighting themselves with their own inner dialogue. You say you're going to do the thing, then you talk yourself out of it. You hype yourself up, then you tear yourself down. You start, but you don't believe you're going to finish, because deep down, you don't trust that you will. That's not a motivation issue. That's a trust issue. And the only way to rebuild it is with evidence. Not affirmations you don't believe yet, but by keeping tiny promises to yourself over and over and over. Because that inner critic you're up against, it wasn't built in a day. It was built in small moments, and it'll be undone the same exact way. So, how do you actually start rebuilding trust with yourself? Well, you show up consistently for yourself. You have no problem showing up for others, but for some reason, we always have a problem when it's for ourselves. You don't need to show up with perfection. You need to show up with presence. One promise at a time, one small win at a time. This is how you make your word mean something again. Next, stop abandoning yourself to please other people. Because every time you shrink to make someone else more comfortable, you reinforce the belief that you don't matter. And listen to your gut and actually follow through, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's scary. Every time you follow through for yourself, it creates evidence that you can do it, that you can accomplish things, that you can be successful. And finally, and most importantly, speak to yourself with respect. You can be honest without being an asshole. You don't have to earn kindness to deserve it. Real confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about having your own back even when you're afraid. And self-trust doesn't come from thinking your way into it. It comes from living like you matter, tiny decision by tiny decision. Because when you become someone who doesn't abandon herself, you become unstoppable. You become someone you trust. You become the voice you need. But it all starts by choosing today not to tear yourself down any longer. Instead, rise as someone worth cheering for. So if something hit you in this episode, a line, a truth, a gut punch, don't brush it off. It's not drama. It's not overreacting. It's your real self trying to get your attention, because you don't need another mindset hack. You need to stop letting the most important voice in your life be the one that tears you down. You cannot talk to yourself like shit and expect to rise. And no one's coming to rewrite the story for you. That's your job. So if you've been waiting for a sign, for permission, which you don't even need, for a green light to stop playing small, here it is. This episode is it. Talk to yourself like someone worth fighting for, because you are. And the second you start acting like it, everything will start to change. So I'm going to leave you with this. What's one lie your inner critic keeps repeating? And what's the truth you're actually ready to believe instead? Write it down, say it out loud, let it land. Because if you don't, no one else will. Thanks for tuning in today. If this episode hit home, subscribe and share it with a friend, because together we can bring more women into this wild, unapologetic space. Remember, waiting until you feel ready is the fastest way to nowhere. So show up, embrace the fear, and do the fucking thing. And don't forget to subscribe to my Unapologetically Wild Chronicles. The link's in the show notes. Until next time, stay wild.